Today we're looking at the Target exclusive Legends WWE Ultimate Edition Rey Mysterio figure from Mattel, and I'm excited for this one in some ways and not excited in some other ways, man. I mean, look at him in the packaging. Does he look excited to see me, son? Looks like he got beat the hell up. And today we're going to be unboxing this guy, but it is Target exclusive, so you can't go over there and save any money or anything like that. Maybe one day be put on Mattel payroll or something to make sure that these figures come out alright. But today, we're looking at this Rey Mysterio. This is our 4th Ultimate Edition Rey Mysterio, which is kind of crazy, but we're going to break it down today. We're going to get into the comparisons, but we did first see this back at San Diego Comic-Con, if you guys remember, but there's a shot of Rey Mysterio on the side. You got a shot of him on the back there. Nice doing business with him there. You got Eddie Guerrero there, which we're also going to compare in this video, but let's crack Rey Mysterio out of the packaging and find out what this figure is all about. It took me a while to actually find this figure, but we did locate it on one of our toy hunts, and I'm excited to finally bring it to you today in the review station. And I used that belt display back there. Let me know what you think about that, but I'm getting out, man. I'll see you guys later. Let's open this guy up. So here we have Rey Mysterio out of the packaging, man. We're going to take a look at the accessories and everything going on with it. You know, one quality of Rey Mysterio figures is that they always feel so good in the hand. So is today going to be any different? We're going to find out together, man. Let's dive into these accessories, and then we're going to dive into the Rey Mysterio Ultimate Edition Legends Target exclusive figure itself. So we're getting into Rey Mysterio's accessories, and I don't know, I guess you get quality here. It kind of feels like it's lacking in terms of Ultimate, but I guess you get 2 interchangeable heads and 1 championship, and you got a little bit of cloth goods there. I don't know, I don't think it quite meets the threshold, but it's there. And here's our first head sculpt here, which I think is a repeat head sculpt. It's very, very similar. I think it's just painted differently, maybe slightly. So here's the OG. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit cleaner, and you can see that it's white on the face instead of the silver. There's some different graphics going on here, but I think it's the same head sculpt. Pretty much the same head sculpt that we got on the Elite here. Got the black, got the, the gold and the pink. It is more of a magenta color instead of the purple from last time. And then you have the torn masked head sculpt, which I really like. I like that detail right there. You get that rip right there, and this even moves right here, which is crazy that they actually got that printed there. You got the tear. I think he had some black makeup, though, underneath here, kind of smeared and stuff. That would have been cool. Maybe we could add that later on, I think. But my mind could have been mistaken. I haven't watched that match in a little while, so maybe something we got to go back to. But I do like this head sculpt. It's a difference. By the end of the matchup, it's torn, and he's raising up the championship. I think that would be really cool. And yeah, I like this, man. Probably the closest thing we'll ever get to an unmasked Rey. We had that Monday Night Wars Elite that kind of got canceled on us. Really bummy, but I do like this. And then we do have the loose mask from his entrance, which to me seems a bit big. Doesn't it seem big? Like you have the string that goes around the neck, but you have this pink mask here, and I'm just gonna, just for shishes and gigs, let's just see what it looks like if you could put this onto a figure. I just think it's a little too big, and if you wanted to do this, let's just see what it looks like here. Yeah, it's just big, man. It's too big and baggy. I don't know. It'd probably fit a Jax Rey Mysterio or something. That would have been really cool. Imagine the eyes had holes in them, and you could slide this over an unmasked Rey head. That would be pretty damn sick. But I do like this as an added detail. And then you do have the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, which we have seen before, but it does look good here. I think it came with the Elite 100 Rey Mysterio, and we have seen it there, but we have seen this before. You could see it in the background of this video at some point. But this is very cool, and I do like that they included this. Can't have that without this. And then the last little cloth accessory is his belt, which is pretty cool. It's got the little triangle with the skull on it, which is nice. And last time, they didn't include this whatsoever. It wasn't painted on. It wasn't removable, so you do get that extra detail if you want it. And then you do get a pair of mic holding hands that are slightly smaller for Rey Mysterio. And then you do have a pair of fisted hands, so only 2 different style hands here. So we're getting into Rey Mysterio, and again, we already looked at the head there. My big issue with this figure, man, is the shoulders, man. And I don't know what kind of era we're in right now, but Mattel, I don't know what they're doing, but they keep making it where the shoulders of these Ultimates stick out way too damn far, and it's stressing me out, and I don't like it, and it annoys me, and I hate it, and I want to jump off a bridge, and I want to blow this figure up, and I can't stand it, and it sucks. But, it's similar to the Great Muta, the CM Punks, and it's not as bad in person with this figure. I just think it still exists, but I do like the torso sculpt here, and I like that the way the head sits here and everything. The purple magenta color looks good, but you get this pattern going all throughout. I like the crownish looking logos here. There's some good things here. I just don't like the aesthetic of the shoulders. Look how weird it looks from behind, man. People don't look like this. You don't look like that, you know what I mean? I do like these wrist gauntlets. Those are the same repurposed wrist wrist gauntlets from the Elite 67. You get that triangle, you get the gold and the black and the question marks, which are sick. You get the pin joints, so it's great. Then we get these newly sculpted tooled boots here, which I think they are brand new. We have never seen this boot here with the straps and the buckles here. And they just went with a classic foot right there, but it does have the toe joint there, so this may actually be a new foot. But I do like the way this figure moves, which is always just such a bonus for the Rey Mysterios. So as far as the head, he can look down a little, look up a little, not too much. You get a little bit of pivoting there, which is always enjoyable. Ab crunch is non-existent on Ultimates. You do get a decent little back bend, though, which is kind of crazy. The butterfly joint on this guy is okay, I guess. You know, he goes back that far, comes in front that far. Shoulders do go right at 90 or just above. Get the full rotation, bicep cut, double jointed pinless arms there. You get the swivel and the hinge in the wrist. You do get the waist articulation. And then on the legs, he does have the drop down hips. They can kick forward really good because he's on ball joints. It can go out to the side. All this feels so buttery smooth because he's not pinless, but you get the upper thigh cut. Double jointed knee that makes the world go round. You get the boot cut. You get the ankles that go up and down. You also get a beautiful ankle pivot, and you get that toe hinge, so that is really nice, man. This figure poses well, feels good in the hand. It's just, God in heaven, there are some things here that I want to... It's just mainly that aesthetic, man. Just look at him from far away. It's not horrendous, but it's there, right? You can see it. I can see you, man. Night goggles.
I can see you, man. Night goggles. I can see you. All right? 2020 right here, buddy. 2020, Chief.
Let's get into some Rey Mysterio figure comparisons. So for your Rey Mysterio figure comparisons, here we have a few different WCW Rey Mysterio Elites to compare. You have the Elite 100 over here. You have the original Elite 67, which I did do an arm swap with, and I will switch it back here in just a second, I promise. Just give me a second. I know where the arms are. I did this fix up on Surgery like 100 episodes ago, and everybody was like, why would you do that to the Rey? It was literally just a concept. I was like, how cool would it be to make this kind of fantasy gear? Because it looks like he's wearing a short sleeve tight fit, and then he has his arms and tattoos, and you have the gloved hands. I thought it was a cool fix up, but I will switch it back for the comparison so you guys can see. And then you do have this Monday Night Wars Series 2 Elite Rey, which I do like in the pink. And funny enough, we were going to get this in Ultimate Edition form, but we didn't fund the Nitro stage. Selfish pig bastards.
You went to 6 Yankee games last season, you selfish pig bastard.
And then we do have the mask that matches this attire. As you can see here, it comes with this Ultimate, so I thought that was pretty cool. It's just too damn big for me, son. Look how big that is. Anyway, I'll switch the arms right now so you guys can get off my back. So there you go, man. There's the comparison. I told you I'd fix it for you. Honestly, I've been wanting to fix that for a long time, and now this video kind of forced my hand there. But you can see the logos here are a little bit more opaque. You can see the opacity turned down so that you can, it kind of creates that pattern there. But head sculpts are slightly different in terms of paint job. It's not as black around the eyes. The white makeup, or the white masks as we looked at, skull seems to be a bit more accurate probably on the right. And then his height, the Ultimate Edition is slightly larger as we've come to know with these Ultimate Edition figures, but this is certainly a comparison that I know a lot of people wanted to see. But let's get into some other comparisons. And then for your Rey Mysterio Ultimate Edition figure comparisons, this is every Rey Mysterio Ultimate we have seen so far. You have the WrestleMania 22 version on the far left. You have his SmackDown debut in the red, which is supposed to be a Spider-Man gear, but they removed all the Spider-Man references, which I think is just total bullcrap. Then you have his Ultimate Edition Series 23 over here that was from his matchup with Dominic at WrestleMania 39, and I like all of these in their own way. If I had to rank them, I think this one would be my favorite. It would probably be like this, actually. I think. I'm not entirely sure. This one may beat this one. I just feel like the context on this one doesn't translate great, but he has the tattoo on the torso, which I like. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. I'd probably go with this one a little, maybe. I don't know. It's tough, but I think I like this one more than this one. Maybe. I don't know. This is Bible Man Great Muta style Rey Mysterio, but, it's crazy. We have 4 Rey Mysterio Ultimates. And then what it's all about, we have the Monday Night Wars Walmart exclusive Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero to compare with the Legends Target exclusive Ultimate Edition Rey Mysterio. So this is pretty cool to see these play out, and I think the scale is solid. I think that both of them match up well, and they both also pose well because they're not pinless. So posing these figures around is actually quite a joy. And then one last little comparison here, I did want to bring in the newer Ultimate Edition Series 29 Dominic Mysterio just so we could see what he looked like up next to his father and Rey Mysterio. Well, I think that about wraps up this Rey Mysterio Ultimate Edition figure review, man. I am on the fence. I'm on the fence about this figure. I guess I can go through my pros and then go through my cons of the figure. So my pros. Pros, I think it is a pretty good representation of, you know, this moment and this character. I do like the, you know, the torn mask head sculpt is iconic. I think the figure does represent the moment well. I like that you get the championship. I like the loose mask, even if it is a little oversized, whatever the case is. I do like how it moves. I think that, you know, the posability is nice. But then you have the cons. I think the cons of this figure, you know, the lack of the face makeup underneath. I think there was supposed to be a little bit of black makeup on the eyes. You know, it had rubbed off a little bit there, but that would have been a nice little detail to include. And also just the aesthetic of the figure, when you look at it, when you're not posing it around and you just look at it, kind of like those Ultimate Warrior torsos and things. I just do not like the aesthetic of the shoulders, man. The shoulders sticking out that far just looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. It's not great, you know, all those things considered. That's probably my biggest con about the figure. I just think it looks kind of weird with his shoulders poking out that far, and so that does hinder it, but the figure is a Rey Mysterio Ultimate, so you know it's going to pose well, you know that that's going to be there, and I still like the figure, but I think that con is just, I don't know, man, that is a big bugaboo for me. I think if the figure just aesthetically looks weird or off-putting or ugly, it's just not great when you look at it, but I think that, you know, the pros probably do outweigh the cons. I just think that one con is pretty heavy, you know, and I do like the sculpt on the boots. I like the newly sculpted torso, or the, you know, it kind of looks like a shirt or whatever. You have those wrinkles sculpted in there, which is nice. So I like this figure. I'm actually quite enthused with it, you know. I'm glad that I came in thinking one way, or originally I was excited. Then I saw the shoulders and was like, oh man, I don't know about this. But then getting it in hand, I think I'm back on board with liking the figure. I just think the shoulders poke out a little too far. I would like to see that adjusted in some way, make some new shoulders, but it is what it is, man. I like this figure. If you guys like this figure, again, it is Legends Target exclusive. I have only seen one of these in many trips to Target. I've seen one, and I bought it. I bought it immediately because I didn't want to, you know, risk it. But this figure is fun. I think you guys will like it. If you see it, I'd probably grab it. These Legends Ultimates are weird, man. They come and go. Once they're gone, they're weird. They're weird, man. I don't know. I would, if you see it and you want it, you better grab it. That's all I'm gonna say. But that pretty much wraps it up for me, man. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know your thoughts on this figure down in the comment section. Are you in? Are you out? Let me know what you think, but overall poses well, and I like that. So I'm getting the hell out, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, but let's get into our random comment shout out. And this comment goes to Funky Rumble 0455, pretty active on the channel, which I appreciate. He says, 10 years of Rumble predictions, crazy how fast time flies. Been watching since day one and will continue to watch this amazing channel. I greatly appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for the support over the years and all the people that like that comment. I greatly appreciate you, man. It's kind of crazy how fast time goes, for real. And, you know, when I first started this channel, I really, you know, I had some goals in mind, but I really didn't know, you know, where it would go. And, you know, I stick to the work. You know, you want to put in the work. Put God first. Put in the work. And nothing is impossible. You know, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I just appreciate you, man. I'm very appreciative. But that's going to wrap up this video. Huge shout out to Funky Rumble. But I'm getting out, man. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you guys later.